Ciao a tutti i miei piccoli porcellini, come state? Io sono Andrea, conosciuto anche come il Sawi, e benvenuti sul mio canale. Oggi siamo qui con Baldur's Gate 3. Ero molto curioso di provarlo dal momento che recentemente mi sono diciamo infognato per bene con il mondo di D&D, volendoci giocare da tanto tempo, già dalla 3.5 se non anche dall'edizione prima. Non ho mai avuto modo di poter giocare realmente con qualcuno, ma adesso con Baldur's Gate 3 ho potuto vedere il gameplay, ho potuto capire molto di più le meccaniche, le skill, le classi, le razze, insomma ho potuto immergermi molto più appieno nel mondo di D&D e ne sono contento perché mi sta piacendo molto giocarci sia su Baldur's Gate 3 che anche nella campagna che sto seguendo sul server Discord. Prima di iniziare col gioco vero e proprio però vi chiedo di lasciare un like, di iscrivervi al canale e anche di lasciare un commento in modo tale da supportarmi e supportare la serie. Ma detto questo, iniziamo col gioco. Infatti lui è ancora qua, il nostromo. È lei che... Minchia, ma non è possibile che sto continuando a fare fallimenti. Allora... Vivo a Roma. Ho visto e quindi ciao. Allora... Così è sicuro che non lo manco. Che non la manco. Lancia.
What did you... Stay down, Van Ryan! No! No! Stay down! Ah! You cost me afresh, young hag! I'm going to paint the wall with your guts, you little...
Prego, prego. L'aspetto. No, mamma mi sa niente. Ah no, no, la mamma è viva ancora, quindi... Aspetto. Oh. Non è chiaro, ma tant'è. 40. Ci imbriaghiamo a merda.
Your mind considers one future after another, teasing apart the possibilities. Should you face Cazador? Should you run? And what of his ritual ascension? How can you turn that to your advantage? You're weighing up your prospects when a faint noise jerks you alert. There's someone in the dark.
Shit.
Peace, brother. We're just here to take you home.
Io non voglio venire a casa. Uff, andata bene.
He's going to end us.
Of course not. The Master needs us. We're loyal. And more to the point, we're useful.
But if Brother's right, we're more useful to him dead.
Then we'll die. Unlike our sweet brother, we've no choice but to obey.
Master said bring him home. Master said to fight. Never forbade us from talking, though. Sorry, brother. This is the best we can do.
Devo picchiarli?
You brought her back. You brought back my sweet, sweet girl. It was everything. Here. A token from the pirate life I left behind. You hungry, sweet girl?
It's an orphanage, Ukta. What would you have me do? Seize their toys as payment? or they fail to pay tribute. We should withdraw our protection, at the very least.
And cede more ground to the Stone Lord. You're not suggesting I yield a single inch of the city, my city, to this cult.
We already look weak. If you're seen to be forgiving debts...
I didn't say forgive. Seize the building. Are many children old enough? If they protect what's mine, we'll consider that a start on what's owed.
Yes, Guildmaster. Excuse me? This is a private council.
Keep your underpants clean, Uktar. We're playing host to a hero. You recall our reports of Ketheric Thorm, General of the Absolute, Champion of Merkel, unkillable Tyrant of Moonrise.
Io sono quello che l'ha
Me, the one who
ucciso.
killed him. The Guild is this city's first and last line of defense. It's only natural that we watch the gates for anyone interesting. I'd say you qualify. I already know the one thing about you that I need to. You've crossed paths with the cult's leadership before, and you're still standing. I mean to burn the Absolute from the face of my city. So if you mean to help, congratulations. We just became the best of friends. Oh, did you enjoy the encounter? A charitable donation to the good protectors of Rivington. Was that the tune that played you? The rats usually keep a lid on their nastier notions, but with the Stone Lord business distracting me, some are starting to test the leash. All the more reason to be rid of the cult quickly, so I can remind my crews it's not a leash round their necks if they cross me. It's a noose. I wasn't surprised to learn you two had fallen in together. I could make a guess at what she needs from me too. Bring her here. Whatever questions she has, she'll want to hear the answers directly from me. So, remind her to pay an old friend a visit, would you?
Va bene.
I live to serve. Thieves, frauds, and miscreants. If it's just the watch warrants you're reading. The Guild isn't any one thing. We're everything. All the parts of the city the watch... But it's not the watch that keeps the peace. Or gives justice to any Baldurian who asks, whether they can pay for it or not. It's us. If we take a little tribute in return, or tie strings of service to those we help, well, what of it? So long as we're working as one, it all runs quick, quiet, and clean. Clean water, filthy riches, and everything in between. Right now, I'll settle for taking our city back. Knowing what I know usually comes at a cost. But let's say we'll put it on your tab. We don't. The Zentarim work for me. Time was I'd charge the bastard. The Guild is many things, but it's not an army. If the Absolute keeps pushing in on our territory, then I need a little weight to push back. Ha! Which part? The Stone Lords hollowed this place out. Orin's faceless try to pierce my ranks every day, while Gortash's toy soldiers control the streets. When the Absolute's army arrives to wage war on the city, our best hope is to make sure they have no leaders in here willing to open the gates for them. The leader of some new crew that's intent on... If he was just another upstart who didn't like paying guild dues, fair enough. But he and his crew make no demands. Leave no... All I know is that on every scrap of ground he takes from me, the cult of the... Doesn't matter. Whatever god the prick prays to, I'll send him to meet it soon enough. Simple enough. After Jaheira warned me and then I could bore you with the details. How I found evidence of Gortash's projects, traced him to Orin the Red, and made a safe bet there was some because it's always the dead, bloody three. Has been half-gods who can't help but make their irrelevance everyone else's problem. Oh. You've got some juicy little tidbit I haven't heard yet. Huh. It seems like my intelligence on you was patchy at best. That's annoying. Don't pout. For a brief second, I did weigh the odds. But if there's a tainted elder brain slopping around below my city, I think we need one another more than ever. So, as long as you can keep a lid on what's growing inside you, we're allies. Until you can't. Simple enough, I reckon. Now, war to be fought. You need anything? I need to see Jaheira. Just so happens, she'll want to see me too. You owe me a gold piece, grandmother. When I heard you died out in the wilderness, I made an offering at Kellamvor's well.
Of gold? Oh, I did not know I meant so much to you, Guildmaster.
No, I'm terribly sentimental. Case in point, I've just let a harper walk through my guild hall, noticeably unholed. Because I'm curious about why you're here and who it is you've brought with you. How nice. You won't find many of those in my guild hall.
We won't tax your hospitality too long, Nine Fingers. I'm searching for Minsk of Rashomon.
A big name, that. Such information does not come cheap, High Harper. Not in normal times. Of course. Seeing as these are not normal times and we're all such good friends, I'll do better than tell you where he is. I'm bringing him here as we speak. Or parts of him, at least. I gave no orders about the condition of his corpse.
What treachery is this, Nine Fingers? Have you thrown in with the Absolute too?
Against my own city. Careful. You're in very real danger of hurting my feelings. It's Minsk who's found his faith with Faerun's newest god. And a new name with it. The Stone Lord.
Lies.
It should. My people speak it in the same breath as Saravok and Demogorgon, but he's just another upstart. In his short reign, the Stone Lord and his crew have earned a reputation. Pure brutality. No survivors. And where he mows my people down, this ripe little cult takes root. But not for much longer. We have word on where he plans to hit next. And he'll find us ready to hit back this time.
Nine Fingers. Estelle. Call off your ambush, tell us where he is, and we'll handle this.
We? I heard what happened to your harpers, Jaheira. I'm sorry, but this fight's too big for you alone. If you're half the friend you're posing as, you'll tell her that her part in this is done. The Stone Lord's fate is sealed. We have a bigger war to fight. I'd rather turn our talk to that, but if you need a moment, Jaheira, well, you've earned that much. My guild hall is open to you. Have a drink, Jaheira. Have a rest. Just leave well enough alone. It would be a shame for the city to lose 2 of its heroes in one day.
There she stands, just as Elminster promised. Mystra, goddess of the weave, mother of all magic.
The old man wasn't lying. She's opened the summoning channel. Can't you feel it?
Gale's right. The very air around the statue crackles with magic. It sets your teeth on edge.
A stream of pure, undiluted weave. I only have to reach out, and it will carry me to Mystra, wherever she may be.
Go on then, Gale. We'll be here.
Time was, I'd have given my right arm for a chance to speak with Mystra again. The left one, too. Maybe a knee. Am I? You're right. I am a strong... My omnipotent... I always wonder what being nervous would feel like. I hate it. During my time locked away in Waterdeep, I prepared a quite comprehensive speech for her on the subject of our former relationship, and the, alas, recent events have rendered the majority of it moot, so I'm gonna have to improvise. Unless you have any words of wisdom to impart before I go.
Mm.
The summoning channel Mystra has provided is one only I can enter. No matter how much I prefer not to face her alone. You'd make a fun... I think it's best I keep a cool head going into this. Approach it like a particularly high-risk round of 3. I'll let Mystra show her flight, and then I can see how strong a chance we stand of winning the gambit. I'll only be gone for a matter of moments. The outer planes experience time quite Wait for me.
Sperando che non ci muoia Gale.
Gale of Waterdeep, you look well.
As do you. But I assume we're not here solely to exchange compliments. So why am I here?
You discovered what lies at the heart of the Absolute, the crown of Karsus. And you disobeyed my instruction. Why?
Because you had no right to ask that of me. You cast me out. Remember?
You were my lover, my chosen. Yet still you know so little of me. The past cannot be undone with self-pity, nor can a future be forged. Only with the truth will you see the way ahead. The fragment of magic you tried to return to me was not of my creation. It was the Karsite weave. It is a corrupted, half-born magic, wrought in the brief moment Karsus ascended to godhood. It hungers for power, just as he did, and it can never be sated. You unleashed something that would consume all magic in existence, and yet you thought only of preserving yourself.
So that's what you're scared of. With the crown of Karsus reforged, I could take control of the Karsite weave.
You can no more control the Karsite weave than a weather vane could control a storm. That it entered your body and consumed no more than your powers was a miracle. But we will not be granted another. The only reason the orb sleeps is because I have allowed it to feed on the true weave. A temporary measure, but one that will not be enough to save us. With each day that passes, the Elder Brain threatens to become a new kind of god. Its worshippers, a scourge of soulless illithids. If you will not use the orb to end this abomination, then you must find a way to separate crown and host. When you've done this, you must surrender.
Tutti che vogliono sta cazzo di corona. No, me la tengo io, vaffanculo.
Great ask indeed. You've given me much to think on, as you always did.
So be it. Follow the needle of your own wisdom. We shall see how truly it leads you.
The Karsite weave. I had no idea. Do you realize what this means? The orb is no stray piece of ordinary magic. It is something entirely different. The nascent form of a new divine power. Of course, I couldn't control it. I was mortal. But once I reforge the crown, the power of a god will be mine to command. The orb will answer to me. Evil is a reductive term, too often used to dismiss choices the observer lacks the imagination to understand. Let me assure you, Karsite weave has no more inherent evil to it than a child in the womb, or an axe half forged on the blacksmith's anvil. It is a tool, ready to be shaped by its wielder, by me. And you know me to be someone of reasonably sound moral judgment, don't you? Gods! It's refreshing to share the company of someone who sees things the same way I do. All we need to do is stay focused on the task at hand. Defeating that elder brain. After that, you can leave the rest to me.
Bene miei piccoli porcellini, per questo video è tutto. Io vi invito come sempre ad iscrivervi al canale, a lasciare un like e un commento per supportarmi e per supportare la serie. Se invece siete curiosi di vedere, anziché la versione ridotta del video qui su YouTube, seguirmi in live e quindi giocare magari anche insieme, scoprire cose, vi invito ad iscrivervi al mio canale Twitch che trovate sotto in descrizione insieme a tutti i miei altri social di riferimento. Ma detto questo, ci vediamo al prossimo video. Ciao!